There we go. So yeah, it is the birthday month now, 2 weeks today. So having like lots of celebrations throughout July, which is very fun and exciting. So tonight I was just wanting this to be super interactive for you guys. Give a rundown on the nervous system, which is obviously my jam, and also do a bit of breath and settle in. I'll keep an eye on the waiting room as well, because there's other people who will message me that are coming, so I'll keep an eye on that too. But yeah, thank you for being here. Should we do just kind of 3 breaths to drop in, and I'll just welcome Tina. She's just popping in through, so we'll just wait for her before we just settle in. Hey, Tina. Oh, she's on mute. She can hopefully hear us. So yeah, we might just do, hi there, Tina. I can see your message. We'll just do some 3 breaths to just drop in and just notice how we are now, how we're feeling. And then we'll go into it then. So just closing down your eyes, just taking notice of where you're sitting, what may be weighing on your shoulders, anything that's happened today, just letting that slip by, knowing that for the next hour we're here just for you. We'll take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth on the count of 3. 1, 2, and in. Filling up the heart, filling up your tummy, and out. And in. And out. And one final one, just breathing in and letting go of anything from today. Just letting it all go, knowing that you're here and have some fun. Gonna do a little breath. All right, welcome, Claire. So what I would like to do tonight is give you guys a bit of an intro on the nervous system, how it can impact our days, how it can physically impact us. And then we'll go into some really just different and simple breathwork techniques that you can use anytime, anywhere. That's the joy of breathwork, is that it, I suppose we all breathe all the time, right? So we can do them anywhere and people don't even know that we're using it to regulate. So I love that about breathwork. And then we'll do a Q&A at the end. So if anything comes up, if you have any questions, if there's anything that really resonates with you, or also if there's anything that's coming up for you in day-to-day life that you want to bring to the table, let's do that. So is everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Awesome. There's also going to be, as you know, a giveaway for tonight. So that is going to be totally random. So that is going to be a wellness audit, which is a 60-minute session with me, where we look at your life, we look at what's going on, where your energy leaks are, how your nervous system regulation is. We could look at your business, if it's part of your business, your family, basically anything that I use with my one-on-one clients, we can do together in a 60-minute session. So that is the giveaway for tonight. It's going to be totally random, in a way that when I bring it up, you'll probably not even know. So just going to have a little bit of fun. Okay. So I'll just start a little bit with my story and why I'm here, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I suppose as a child, I was role modeled from a very adrenal driven family, broken family, single mom, alcoholic dad, alcoholic stepdad, that kind of, upbringing. So what I was role modeled was really brought into my adult life. I was probably what you'd call high functioning, dysregulated nervous system, borderline, probably alcoholic myself as well. I had kids. I was in an extremely unhappy marriage. I was working about 60 hours a week in a job that just made me so reactive. Everything was just like Groundhog Day. And physically, I was starting to deteriorate as well, as was any of my relationships around me. So probably 4 years ago, I started to go down the track of, I started to study the body, and really very quickly knew that the self-development path, it wasn't even little nudges. Like I had no choice of going down this route, to be honest. So this is where I've ended up. I've learned throughout the last 4 years, the physical, I suppose the mental and emotional, the mind, body, and spirit, and how it's all connected. So that is why I am so passionate about the nervous system. I feel like it's the foundation of all of the work. And it's also, a little bit of a disclaimer. When we understand the nervous system and how it works, it does not mean that you don't have emotions and that you don't get reactive. What it means is that you have a different understanding. So your nervous system is there to protect you. It's there to go, oh shit, I've been here before. I know this feeling. This has happened before. Last time this happened, I got hurt. I felt unsafe. Quick, protect. So it puts us straight back to where we were. So these things still happen. We still have these chemical and physical reactions. Our nervous system is still protecting us. It's still doing its job. That does not ever stop. The change in it is when you understand the workings of the nervous system, and also how it impacts our daily life. It gives us the choice, right? It gives us the ability to go, okay, in this moment, this is happening and this is coming from here. And it gives us the choice to be able to stop and regulate, or alternatively snowball, if we don't look at it. So, big disclaimer for this. Your nervous system is always going to do its job. The key is how we learn to manipulate it, because, it's called the autonomic nervous system, but because it's always been thought that it's automatic, but it's actually not. We can, through certain techniques and understandings, we can really learn to manage them, to manipulate it. So, and that works on all levels. That works on your brain, it works on your emotions, it works physically. So the way that a dysregulated nervous system looks, does anyone have any questions? So at this point at all? No? So the way that the nervous system manifests physically, there's certain things that happen when you jump into that fight or flight, that, that really reactive response, that, your heart will start palpitating, your breath will get quicker, and it will be mouth breathing. So if you notice when you are, when you're running, you're never in your rest and digest system when you're running. So you're always breathing in and out your mouth. So it's very important when you're regulating your nervous system that you use nasal breathing, because that tells your body it's time to rest. Everything is okay. So very important, nasal breathing. But the physical manifestations, so they, it's those really reactive things. It can be goosebumps. It can be your voice shaking, because it's connected to your vagus nerve. So your voice will shake. Your digestion, you'll either, you might crave food, or you might actually have no appetite whatsoever. So there's different ways of it really playing out. Hormonally, it in the long term can really affect you with PMS or impotence. There's a lot of different ways that it really, the vagus nerve, which is the main nerve for the it's the biggest nerve in the body, actually, and it's connected to all the different parts that of your body that physiologically your nervous system regulates. So that's your lungs as well. So that's why you'll breathe quicker and faster, and it'll raise your blood pressure. So physiologically, there's a lot that's going on. Practically, what happens is we end up continually in fight or flight. We end up having a continual to-do list. We end up feeling like there's no time in the day, that we're always running late. Bless you. We, you know, we'll never feel connected because we're never actually in our body, right? We never actually, everything just runs on autopilot when we're in fight or flight. And by autopilot, I mean, you know, when you drive to work and you're like, shit, I don't even remember that. Or you just get up out of bed and you go straight to the toilet, you go straight to make a coffee, you grab your phone on the way, and next thing you know, it's an hour later and you actually have not made a conscious, like a truly conscious choice about anything that you're doing. Everything is just autopilot. So that's just your nervous system just doing the same thing. And when it doesn't allow anything new in. It doesn't allow you to be open to any other possibility, to any other experience, to any other, you know, any other situation. So, what else? Sleep is a big one. You can either struggle to get to sleep or just feel exhausted. Brain fog, because it just switches off. When you're in fight or flight, it really does just kind of switch off any cognitive function, any problem solving. Or you can, but it's much harder, you know, when you're in flow and when you're present with what you're doing and focusing on what's in front of you. You can really, like, you're able to make really informed and concise decisions and easily, right? Whereas with, we just got someone else in the waiting room. Whereas with, you know, when you're not, you know, there's just brain fog. You can't make choices. So, yeah, they're kind of the physical, a lot of the physical, obviously really being overreactive, really snappy, things like that are ways that it can manifest during the day. Is there anyone that has any, is this resonating with you guys? Like, is there anyone that has?
Pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Sure. Do you want to just go into that a little more, or is there? Yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit more, because it's beautiful to, when we share these, it kind of gives other people the permission to go, oh, I've got that too, or, you know, have that experience.
I'll go. So that pretty much all resonated with me. I had a very similar upbringing to you, just constantly running on adrenals. And I still do that now, but I'm becoming a lot more aware and catching myself out instead of just being reactive. Well, I am being reactive, but I'm able to sit in the moment and go, what was that made me reactive? Or, you know, how can I, you know, what is it that's really triggering that? And becoming more aware of, like, my daughter knocking something over wasn't actually the trigger. It wasn't actually the issue. It was triggering something else that hasn't been put away. And I feel overwhelmed just in general. And yeah, I'm not in control of my responses because I'm constantly in fight or flight. So I have, you know, lots of sleep, digestive, emotional regulation issues that I definitely need to work through. So definitely all resonating, and good to, like, piece it all together instead of acknowledging little bits and pieces here and there, but like hearing it in like a bit of a bubble makes more sense.
Yeah, we really thank you so much for sharing that, Jess. We really don't give the nervous system enough credit for everything that it does. No. Like, it is so powerful. I just, to elaborate on your story then, this is probably one of the biggest realizations that I had of how we get stuck in the past with our nervous system. So with my kids, I would lose it if they left their shoes at home. Like, that was, to say that was a trigger for me would be an understatement. And it's so irrational because they're toddlers, and it's actually, you know, I'm talking like when they were 2 or 3 years old as well. And it wasn't until I really started looking at this work and looking at the nervous system and how it's got this memory, because that's what it has, is this memory to keep us safe. So what had happened is my mum was a nurse, and my grandmother took me up to her work, and my brothers and I didn't have shoes on, and into the hospital. And she lost it, like absolutely lost it. And it didn't even occur to me when I was losing it to my kids that was the source of it. You know, like, it's these things that are deeply ingrained in our nervous systems, and they, you know, they build beliefs, they build patterning, they build behaviors. But it's that learning to self-regulate, learning to identify. And that's the first thing. It sounds like you're doing amazing with really identifying what's going on. And that's the first step of getting into it, you know? Yeah.
I do have a question though. Like, I'm very much becoming aware of things, but I feel like I self-sabotage. Like, for instance, I know that those things need to be put away, but I will procrastinate on my phone scrolling Instagram and then get annoyed at myself, even though I know that if I had put those things away in the first place, I would have felt a lot calmer. And I don't understand why I have those behaviors, but it comes up constantly.
There's a few things in that. One is self-sabotage. There's like, and also it's that brain fog. It's that not thinking concisely. Like, your logical mind will know, I should put that away. I should not sit here in the scroll hole and compare myself to everyone on Instagram that I'm not, you know. But instead of putting the things away and actually spending 20 minutes with my daughter, you know, and then she'll be happy for the rest of the day, let's just go through the same thing that's familiar, because it's familiar. Our nervous system has a level of normal, and it's where it wants to keep us. If you imagine, you know, you could call it normal, you could call it your own personal homeostasis, you could, whatever it is. And we all have a line. So if this is fight or flight up here, and this is your rest and digest, which a lot of people don't even know what this feels like down here unless they've, you know, been on a holiday without a mobile phone for 3 months. No, not 3 months, but you know what I mean. And so we all sit as a normal somewhere in here. Yeah. And I think I've said this to Kerry, you can't go from like here down to here quickly. It's a very slow process, because if you try and do that, that alone is going to put your nervous system into a jolt, right? It's going to, that is going to be trauma for your nervous system. It's things that you have to do slowly. It's things that you have to train yourself. And it's about just slowly turning up. You know, if you imagine a stereo, like, how do you slowly just make a few changes to improve it over time? And awareness is the first thing. And, you know, next time, and it becomes down to you too, because once you have an awareness of it, you need to change it. Otherwise, the consequences are more, right? So when you have an awareness of it next time, go, it'll pop in. And so you can either keep continuing to do the thing, or you can go, okay, this is my choice to start changing this. Like, now is the time. No one else can change this for me. It's up to me. Now is the time. I'm going to just, and it seems ridiculous that would be just getting up and putting something away, right? Because when your daughter trips on it, you're shitty with yourself for not putting it away. You're not shitty at her for tripping on it, right? So then you look at like the bigger picture of like, well, that's what I'm role modeling my daughter as well. So there's like, when you see that bigger picture too, it can become a lot clearer. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That's so good.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Does anyone else have any questions or comments that they want to put in the chat? No? Awesome. Okay. Well, shall we get into a little bit of breath work, a little bit of breath techniques? And these are ones that we can, as I say, do anywhere. The first one is just actually, I need my phone for this. The first one is just actually a little bit of a test to see where you are, because we understand breathing is a way to get oxygen in the body, but actually it's a way to regulate the carbon dioxide. It's more of to regulate the carbon dioxide than it is to bring oxygen in. So if we can see how our body regulates carbon dioxide, it gives us kind of a good starting point to see where we are. So we've all just been sitting here doing not much, which is great. That's what we need to be doing for this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to not breathe deeply, but we're going to do 2 breaths in and out. I'm just going to get my timer, in and out. And then as you exhale on the last breath, and we'll do this together so I can start the timer. As you exhale on the last breath, let's just wait. We're just going to hold that and see how long you can hold that for. So just, I'm not actually going to tell you what the goal is. Okay. So just as long as you can hold it for, and we'll see how we go with that. Okay. So just together, we'll just go in and out, in and out, and hold on the out, and we'll start now. And this can be quite uncomfortable to hold on the out breath when you haven't had it. So breathe when you need to, and I'll just tell you where we're at. So we're at 15 seconds now. We're at 25 now. We're at 35 now. Wow, Jess. 45. Is anyone still in? You still in, Melly?
I'm out now.
How did it go there? Jess was 11. Wow. So 25 is what is not classed as healthy, but 25 is a good figure to get there, 25 seconds. Free divers and people that can highly regulate their nervous system, or that carbon dioxide balance, they can go up to like 55 and over. So how did you go on?
I probably pulled out just a bit before the 25 seconds.
So you were nearly there. Well done. Well done. What
Close.
about you? Yeah. What about you, Tina? 20. Well done. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So the next breath, this one, you probably know this one, Melly. You probably teach this in your yoga classes. So as you guys, most of you know, I think, I have facilitated with Spirit Breathwork, and don't think any of these breaths are from Spirit Breathwork. So you guys are just getting the different ones. So this one is a yogic breath, and the way, as I said before, it's the nervous system is mind, body, and soul, and obviously a lot to do with the brain. It's where it's kind of anchored into. So this breath balances your left and your right hemisphere. So you might know this one too, Kez. It balances your left and your right hemisphere of the brain. And I find it's one of, if people haven't breathed before and aren't really used to it, it's a really good one for them to get into, because it's quite easy, and it's a really good way you got to think about it a little bit as well. So you can't really think about anything else. So the way that we do this one is put these 2 fingers here in the middle of your eyebrows. And we use this finger here to block this nostril. And we use this finger here to block this nostril. Okay. And what we're going to do is a alternate nostril breathing. And last time I did this with people, we talked about it being like a rainbow backwards and forwards. And it was such a beautiful visualization for everyone. So use it for you guys too. So the way it looks is we breathe in for 3 counts. We block it off with our thumb, and we breathe in for 3 counts through the open nostril. And then we hold for 3 and just focus on that part between your eyes. And then we close off the other one, lift our thumb and breathe out for 3. And breathe in for 3 through that same nostril, closing off with the thumb, opening the other, and breathing out for 3. Closing down your eyes, in for 3. Focusing between your eyes and your third eye, locking off, opening your thumb and breathing out for 3. In for 3. Closing off and out. In. Focusing between your eyes and out. And just continuing with that breath in your own time. I just encourage you, if that 3 counts is really easy, you can extend it out to 4 or even 5, or you can stay with 3. Counting in your own time, imagining the rainbow, one side and over. And back. Just balancing the left and the right, the process and the creativity. Just not judging it if you get it wrong. It's not about being right. It's just about slowing down. And we'll do 3 more rounds here. And when you're ready, you can come back. How did everyone find that?
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you done that one before, Sean?
Once or twice, not for very long. That was the longest I've done it for.
Yeah. Yeah, Jess, it can be challenging. It's supposed to be a relaxing one. So you don't kind of push the breaths too long. So yeah, stick with the 2 or 3. Tina, it did its job. did its job. That's so good. That's so good. I had a client this afternoon actually, and we did a little, he was like, could barely string sentences together. And I said, we need to scrap what we were going to do because you are not in a state to do it. And he lied down and we did some breath work and he's like, I'm going to sleep now at the end of that session. Like, good, we did the job. We did the job. Yeah, so that is, I love that one. That's a really beautiful one, especially with the visualization of the rainbow. What did you find challenging about it, Jess?
I think just like the tightness across my chest.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was just the like focusing. I visualize like a tri-flow. I don't know if everyone knows what that is, but I'm a nurse, so I just visualize the ball going up and then coming down again in the breathing. But I just felt like, yeah, I don't know, I guess resistance in my chest of like taking the big deep breath. I'm not sure.
Yeah, wow. Okay. Do you often get like feel short of breath and tension or restriction across there? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting as a nurse too, because you spend so much time. Yeah. Yeah, wow. Wow. So the last breath or one of the last ones that I'll take you guys through, this is from, I need to credit Dan Z, who is he's a somatic psychotherapist that I work with, who is amazing. And when he first gave me this breath quite some time ago, I was like, he gave me a few different breaths to try, and he called this one the anxiety breath. And I was like, I'm not even going to try that because I don't get anxiety. I was like, nah, not doing it. Now it's actually what I do in the morning before I get out of bed. It's really, you might find it a little bit hard, Jess. I'll count a little faster than what I do for me. But basically the way that it looks is again, it's a scaled breath. So we breathe in and out twice, and then I'll count to 2. And then we breathe in and out twice, and I'll count to 4. And then in and out, and I'll count to 6, and then 8, and then 10. And then we come back down again. So we'll just do a few rounds of that. You're getting warm.
It's a lot of work.
So yeah, this breath, even though it was called anxiety, I think I had a little bit of resistance. So I don't have anxiety because you were all, but it's worked really, really well for me. So if you missed it, we do 2 breaths in and out. So in, out, hold for 2, in, out 4, 6, 8, 10, and then we'll work our way back down again. Okay. And I think like just really part of this is reflection as well. Like, how did you feel when we first got on this call before you did any breath work? How have you felt after each breath? How do you feel at the end of the call? These are really important things to actually look back and reflect so that you know what worked for you. Sometimes doing the things that's harder is what your body needs. But when it comes to, because if it's challenging, like, common sense tells you if it's hard, I should do more of it, But in nervous system regulation, you want it to be easy. You don't want to put your body under stress unless it's like cold therapy, when you're intentionally putting your body under stress to, so that you handle stress better. But what we're talking about tonight, you want it to be easy. You want it to feel good. You want it to relax you. Okay. So this one will just, if you want to close down your eyes, and I'll count a little bit faster than I did for me because I'm used to this breath. So if you need to count on your own, please do that too. So we'll go. Let's take a breath in and out. So this is nose breathing, okay? Always nose breathing. And we'll start in, out, in, out, Hold on the exhale. 1, 2. In, out, in, out. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, out, in, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, out, in, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, out, in, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In, out, in, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, out, in, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, long, slow, deep breaths. Out, in, out. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, out, in, out. 1, 2. And just stay there, noticing how different your body feels. Noticing how your breathing probably got more relaxed and at ease as we came back down the scale. As your body started to feel safe, started to get more comfortable. Just concentrating on your normal breathing, and feel free to come back at any time, in your own time. Do you guys just want to pop in the chat what your favorite breath was?
I love the alternate nostril breathing. I really enjoy that. I like the idea of the balancing of the left and right brain as well. Like, yeah, the whole concept of that I really enjoy. But that last breath is really nice too. Same as doing like a box breath. That's really good as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Melly. Yeah.
I really
One
enjoyed that.
was really good. Okay.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Kate.
I enjoyed the last one. It was just, I just felt on the breath out when it was slower and that sort of thing. It was just so much nicer to drop into your body and just let go.
It's a really good one. Hey, it's it's very unexpected, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Which one was yours, Tina? Hello. You just put your video on. Hello.
You can hear me?
I can. Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. So the alternative nostril breathing was pretty good. I use the box breathing at night when I can't get to sleep. So the 4 up, 4 across, and I generally do fall asleep within a matter of minutes after trying to do that. But yeah, the last one was a bit harder to hold that breath after about 8-10 seconds. But I'm
Yeah,
not used to it, you know what I mean?
I was trying to do it. I was tempted to actually do a second round, because the second round, you actually really kind of, I was just mindful of everyone's time. The second round, you can really ease into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, like you probably would have noticed on the way down, you're actually like your inhale and exhale wouldn't have been as forced, I suppose. It just kind of drops a little bit more. Yeah. What about you, Jess?
The last one was my favorite. That was probably the easiest. But when you said it's nasal breathing, that triggered me. Like, I'm a mouth breather through and through, and I've got a massive tongue tie that I've only found out about recently. So I feel really anxious when I breathe through my nose because I just don't practice it. So definitely something highlight to me to actually practice.
Yeah, well, yeah. Awesome. That's exciting, guys. So how, is there anything that really, if you want to pop it in the chat, you can pop it in the chat as well. Is there anything that's really kind of been highlighted, or anything that you want to ask or have kind of confirmation on, or anything that says open Q&A? Is there anything that you want to ask?
Yeah, I do actually, because you know how you talked about fight or flight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, generally they talk about 3 states, and that's fight, flight, and freeze.
Freeze. Yeah.
So you know, a lot of practitioners, not just yourself, actually don't really mention the freeze, but the freeze is a real state of your nervous system not being regulated.
Yeah.
And I just don't know, because I don't know whether we've been conditioned or we just grow up with that kind of fight flight response, but freeze is actually a response to not coping.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Very much so. And
and it's
and it's part of the people pleaser. I go into the freeze part in the nervous system course as well. But I think just because we're here for an hour, I just was touching on those, and it's the language that people know. But freeze is very important, because you know, especially with kids, you know, we expect kids to be able to regulate their emotions, and we don't even know how to ourselves as well. Kids freeze a lot too, and as adults as well, because it's probably the one that's potentially the most harmful to us, because we're not actually doing anything but
that's right. I find that freeze can be one of my responses all too often, and it's about getting stuck.
And it's you know, the way that I explain it is, if you guys aren't aware, so fight is like, imagine that you're in the jungle and a tiger's chasing you. Fight is like, you get your arrow and you start like trying to fight it off. Obviously flight is you run from it, and freeze is you just sit there and you wait for the attack or for it to go somewhere else. And that is the one that you have no control whatsoever. It's a really beautiful thing that you brought up, Tina. Thank you. It's the one that gets stuck. It's the one that actually puts you in the most danger, because you're vulnerable. And so that's not just in the forest. That's actually in life too, because it's the thing that, you know, it takes away a lot of your internal power as well. So and it just stores your emotions in, right? It stores everything in. So thank you for bringing that up. That's a really great point. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I just have a little thing here. So I was going to be whoever answered my first question in my question around what your favorite breathing was going to be the winner. No one bloody put it in the chat, so I just had to come up with a different question to put in the chat. So Jess, you have won the giveaway for the wellness audit, and I'll just have a look at your question here. How often should you be practicing breathwork? I would do it daily. 100%. If you did breath work every day, it would literally change your life. And I say that hand on heart. I know there's a few other breathwork practitioners in here as well. hand on heart, if you did that breath every day, and even, you know, even if you did it when you woke up and when you went to bed.
Yeah, when you said when you wake up in the morning, I was like, oh, that's an easy time to be able to do that. Why am I not doing that? Instead, I'm picking up my phone and looking at that, which I really need to change.
Yeah, because it's that unconscious thing, right? You just pick it up
Mm.
and you don't even realize what you're doing, you know, just because you've always done it. So when we actually stop and breathe, it gives us the ability to go, and this is something that Kerry and I spoke about this week, was like stopping and asking your body what it is you want. Because when you listen, it'll give you the answers. And I tell you, it won't be pick up your phone and scroll. It'll be, you know, sometimes as women, we're so busy, we forget to go to the toilet. As men too, you know, we cannot go, you know, forget to go to the toilet, forget to drink water, you know, but because we're on autopilot, we just go, wake up, phone, coffee, insert whatever here, kids, work, shower, whatever. So by waking up and breathing first thing, that's when we can go, okay, you know, what does my body want? Wants water this morning instead of coffee. You know, it actually wants me to do 2 rounds of this breathing. It wants me to not get out of fucking bed. Like,
I like that one.
yeah. And like sometimes we need to not get out of bed. You know, like sometimes that's what it's going to be. Sometimes we're not going to like the answers, right? But when you establish that mind-body connection and you listen, when your nervous system is at a state where it's actually your body's giving you the messages that what it wants, you know, we have that choice. You know, we can't always do it, but we can know that, okay, so I need to take today slower. You know, I'm going to have a cacao this morning instead of coffee. I'm not going to go to the gym and lift weights today. I'm going to go and do yoga. You know, it doesn't mean that we, you know, have to just not function in real life. It just means that what we do comes from a different place. You know, I'm more productive. I'm 100% more productive when my nervous system is regulated, because I'm fucking on. Sorry for swearing if anyone's offended. I don't think any of you are. I don't think I attract people by swearing. Because when I'm regulated, like I'm 100% on, I'm in flow, everything just comes to me really easy. But when I'm not regulated, that's when I think I don't have enough time. But I don't have enough time because everything's taking me so much longer. You know, so much longer, and my thinking isn't straight, you know. So by giving ourselves that little bit of time, we actually gain so much more time. So yeah. Kerry, does that answer that for you, Jess? Yeah. Bet you're glad you answered that question in the chat. Yeah. Breath is so simple, but I feel we are not tuned into how powerful it is. So true. So true. You know, it's hard to put into words the impact that it can make, you know, what it can, the changes it can make. You know, the breaths that we've done tonight have been so simple. When you do hour journeys or 2-hour journeys, you know, it releases a lot of trauma, a lot of emotions. It can, you know, really deepen your spiritual connection as well. So yeah, Jess, this is, yeah. So overwhelm is a huge one. Yeah. Yeah. And have you tried breathwork before, Jess, at all?
Dipped my toe in a little bit, but not supported or anything, just knowing that I need to do breath work and need to do meditation and stuff, but not really doing it properly, I guess.
Yeah. And sometimes that adds to the stress when we know that we should be doing something and we don't actually do it, then we get the guilt because we're not doing it, or we're not doing it properly, and it totally takes away from the benefit and the power of it. So but we can talk about that.
I think we need to drop the word should from our vocabulary.
Yeah.
Totally. It's really hard to do because we've always been, I mean, it depends what sort of generation you come from, but you know, you should do this, you should do that. And if we could just drop that from our vocabulary and how we talk to ourselves,
Yeah.
And just gives ourselves a bit more of a break around just accepting what it is.
Yeah. Oh, I said that this week actually to a client. She's a young,
Yeah.
and you know, 3 kids under 5. A business owner, and the amount of times that she said should, I said to her, like, anytime you say should, you should not, like, do not do the thing. Whenever you say should, just know that it is your body saying no, your mind, your everything saying do not do that, because it's not for you. It's not for, you know, it's out of obligation. It's out of lack. It's out of depletion.
It's really hard to find a word to actually interchange with that when you really think about it. And yeah, I've been trying to like drop it when I'm beating myself up.
Yeah. 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 It's, yeah, I'm feeling an obligation to do this, but I don't really want to. When you put it that way, it's like, yeah, feeling obliged, feeling pressured, feeling, you know, yeah, it's not the way. I'm just mindful of time. Is there any other questions, guys? No?
Nope.
Sean, you've been very quiet, Sean. Not used to you being quiet.
No, it all made sense. It all made sense.
Yeah.
I have known for quite a while that my nervous system is completely out of regulation. And all the stuff you talked about very early on, it completely made sense. So definitely something I want to learn more about.
Want to look at. Yeah. Awesome. So part of obviously nervous system being my jam, I'm a little bit of a nervous system geek. You don't really want to spend time with me. Is the 4-week course that I launched this week. So for any of you guys on the call, you can, I'll pop a link in here actually, or let me grab that. I'll pop the link in. And you guys can have it for $100 off. So the course is 4 weeks. The way that it works is every week you will get you'll get the content direct to your inbox, and it goes through phases, each module. So it starts with like the science behind the nervous system, and then we look through at the awareness, and I'll just pop it in here so I'm not multitasking. We look at like the awareness and how to relate what we've learned to your current situation and where you're at. And then we go into the vagus nerve and neuroplasticity, and then a 5-step process, which that somatic psychotherapist has taught me, which is how we can actually physically make the changes in the time, make the different choices, how we do that. So each week is, you'll have like the theory, the content. So again, it works on all the areas, the mind, body, and soul, and the brain. So we'll have all the content. You've got an interactive video from me every week. There's a different breathwork session, a different breathwork technique, and also like journaling prompts or discovery questions that are really going to kind of let you know where you're at any particular time. And for the month of July, because it just launched this week, this is obviously I've said my birthday month. I'm like launching all these things. It's like deadline. I'm turning 40. Everything needs to be done by then. Don't know what I think is going to happen when I turn 40, but it's been a great, I work really well to a deadline, and it's been great for that. Let me tell you all the things that have been coming to fruition. So whoever enrolls in the course in July, also I'm going to do like a hot seat coaching call for everyone on the 1st of August. So and that can just be open Q&A, any questions, anything that's coming up, nervous system related. Otherwise, as you can tell, nervous system is everything. So yeah, that is for the month of July. What else? I think that's about all. Also this month I've launched the corporate wellness program as well, which is something that I am very excited about. Kind of brings all my work and history and you know, my past Kate and my now Kate all into the one programs. So I love that. And also have Precious Time coming up in September, Precious Time retreat. So yeah, if any of you want to discuss any of that, please let me know. Jess, if you just want to reply to one of the emails, and I can send you a link to book in your session.
Amazing, thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. So welcome. Yeah, awesome. Thank you all for being here and helping me kick off my part of my birthday celebrations.
Thank you.
You're so
Thanks for
welcome.
having us.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right. Well, guys, feels weird hanging up.
Bye.
Have an amazing 40th birthday.
Sorry?
Have an amazing 40th birthday.
I will. I'll see you soon after. I'll see you very soon after. And if anyone has anything that kind of comes up over the next few days, just do reach out. I think you'll get an email probably overnight or tomorrow with the option. I'm just opening up some time on Sunday afternoon and Monday if anyone wants to really check in if there's anything that's come up. So I think they're 15 or 20-minute calls. So if you do feel like you want to expand on anything from tonight, we can do that. Just book in a call for Sunday or Monday off that email. Okay. Well, thanks for all for being here.
Thank
And
you.
Thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
You're welcome. Yeah, thank you. Okay, guys.
Bye.
Bye.